What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react to some Europe versus USA memes. So today, I want to take a look at some funny random pictures with text on them, also known as memes. And these memes all have to do with what life is like in Europe compared to what life is like here in the United States. So let's take a look at some of these. Starting with this meme says, "Where did all my money go?" Okay. So if you live in Europe, it says, "Oh, you got paid? The state will have 50% of that." 50%? Are we talking about taxes or something? Is this true? Is this common in European countries? 50% of your money goes to the state? I assume we're talking about taxes. That's pretty incredible, and that is much higher taxation than here in the United States. Okay, but on the right side, we have the U.S. and it says, "Oh, you got sick? That'll be $50,000." Yeah, I mean, I guess you got to choose. And if I'm looking at, if I'm just judging based on this meme, I would say I'd rather be European and if you have to be poor and all your money is going to get taken away, I'd at least want it going towards taxes, paying for healthcare, right? In a lot of European countries, your taxes help pay for the healthcare. Whereas here in the US, you might actually go bankrupt because of healthcare. So, if we're talking about where you want all your money to go, I think Europe wins this one. To be fair, in the United States, your health, as long as you have health insurance, you probably won't be charged $50,000. Probably be like $5,000, which is still pretty crazy. Anyway, yeah, I think Europe wins this little comparison. Let's keep going. It says in America, I call it football. Yeah, American football. Yes, we call it football. And then Europe asks, because it's played with your feet, right? Then America is just staring like, what? And Europe says, because it's played with your feet, right? Right? Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty old criticism. Like, yeah, we get it. It's weird that in American football, you don't even use your feet. Actually, you use your feet a very little bit for a very short amount of time, sometimes in some football games. And that's it. Is that enough to name the entire sport football? No. I actually think it's pretty weird that we call it soccer here, and in Europe and a lot of parts of the world, you call it football. It's literally a game where you kick a ball with your feet. That's all you do. I will even admit, as an American, that makes way more sense. I'll admit that. It's really just because when you grow up in the United States and you're taught the word soccer means one thing and football means an entirely different thing here. That's just what you're used to. You live your whole life learning that and saying that, and it just sounds normal to me. But I understand our use of the word football actually doesn't really make any sense. I get it. Okay, fine. You got me. This says, ugliest European fortress compared to the prettiest American fortress? Oh my god. Oh my god, what is this? So in Europe, you guys have like a lot of countries in Europe have a really long history. You got this amazing architecture from hundreds of years ago. So the absolute worst, ugliest fortress in Europe looks like that. Pretty beautiful. And then compared to America, the prettiest fortress in America looks like that. This isn't even a fair comparison. Yes, it's true. In America, we don't have castles and fortresses. America hasn't been around long enough. We didn't have all that. But this is like a Native American fortress. This doesn't even count like for modern day Americans. This is the original inhabitants of the land of the United States. They built these. Like, I don't even know if that counts as American history. Like, these are Native Americans before us. So anyway, in general, I'll concede that European architecture seems to be much more beautiful than American architecture. I agree with that. Okay, jeez. You guys really are just wailing away at us, not giving America anything here. The American mind can't comprehend that this is a European large. What? You're right. I can't. My brain can't. Are you kidding me? Is this actually true? I'm very concerned about this one. This one strikes the deepest in me. We're talking about food. We're talking about some kind of milkshake or something. It looks good, but that is a small. Don't tell me that's a large. That's a small. Well, here in America, that is a small, for sure. I'd actually like to know, is this actually a large in Europe? Is this considered large? I'd actually love to know if that's true, because that is crazy to me how different Europe and America is. If that's considered large, that is tiny. That wouldn't. Americans would be really mad if that was the large. That's crazy. Wow. This meme somehow shows, like, to me, one of the biggest differences between Europe and America. Wow. Europeans watching America. What the F are they doing over there? All right, fine. Yes, I'm sure that's what a lot of Europeans think a lot of the time. And to be fair, it's kind of deserved. Americans watching America. What the F are we doing over here? I like how the American cat is a little fatter too. Is that on purpose? Yeah, like here in the United States, there's a lot of us Americans who also think America is crazy and stuff that happens here is just not normal and crazy and weird. And it's like a TV show. It's not just Europeans who look at us and think, what the heck is... we think that too, a lot of us. And at the same time, I think there's a lot of stuff that's normal here that we don't actually realize. So that's true too. America is just a pretty crazy, but you got to admit, interesting place because of how crazy it is. You can't look away. Europeans measuring with powers of 10? We're talking about the metric system. Everything is in powers of 10, measured in tens. It makes a lot of sense and very scientific, yes. Meanwhile, in America, that was, I'd say, a good, like 3 squirrel lengths. Is this what you think of us? Like, that Americans are just these sort of hick, stupid, measuring distances in squirrel lengths? Like, is that what you think of us? Jeez, we're not that barbaric. We have, feet, yards, miles, inches, It makes way more sense, 12 inches in a foot and then 3 feet in a yard and like thousands of feet in a mile, and you know, it all makes perfect sense. No, it doesn't make any sense, and it's funny because in America we don't think anything about our measurements. We think it's totally normal. I mean, it is not a topic of discussion in America. We're not talking about changing to the metric system or anything. Like, we're perfectly happy with our weird, convoluted measurements. And it's kind of strange that, like, there's a lot of weird stuff in America that I'm starting to understand. It's kind of weird we never talk about it and never even realize it. So, this is another meme where Europeans are like just looking at Americans like, what the hell are they doing? Where as Americans, we don't even know we're being weird. That's the truth. We don't even know we're being weird. Um, America, when it's making new military technology, okay, in your lab coat, taking it very seriously. America, when it's asked to make healthcare free or at least affordable, and then we're stupid, nailing a board into our own head. This meme, this silly SpongeBob meme, sums up so much that is wrong with America. That is so, it's amazing how a silly picture can be so accurate. When it comes to budgeting and developing military technology in America, we can do that all day, instantly. You know, that's it, because it's a number one priority. And yet, when we have to develop medical technology or update our healthcare system, it's like we don't care at all. We put no effort into it. It's pretty crazy, actually. This is a really good comparison about, America's priorities are really out of whack. Okay, how do you protect your house? In Europe, you have a lock. Okay? In the USA, you have a Glock. Yeah. Yeah. This sums up a pretty big difference between Europe and America, right? Um I've never seen a meme like this. A lock versus a Glock, which is a gun, of course. Um, as funny as this is, it's very true. I don't even know what to say about this. Yeah, in America, it's a bit weird that a lot of Americans own guns and are ready and willing to use them to protect their house, and it's kind of scary. I don't know if it's kind of a deterrent in America. Maybe there's less home burglaries or crime because honestly, I would be scared to go into somebody's house or break in America because I would assume they have a gun, which is pretty scary. So that's a deterrent, but obviously it comes at the cost of a lot of gun violence and gun crime in America because guns are so accessible. So it's tricky, isn't it? In Europe, you guys just say, "What the hell are you guys? What are you doing?" Locks. Just lock your door, and nobody can get in. Makes a lot of sense to me. I get it. This says, "Call the ambulance," and then, but not for free. So, this is like another American healthcare joke. This is, oh boy, I could get into this for a long time, but the short explanation here is it's true. In America, a lot of people don't even want to call an ambulance because it costs a lot of money. So if you're hurt, I know people who have just driven to the hospital, like they don't call the ambulance because it costs thousands of dollars. Unfortunately, those are the kinds of things that Americans have to think about, which is really messed up. Yeah. Okay. This says America getting a medal, America biting the medal, kissing the girl, flipping everyone off, popping the champagne. And yet America, and then on the podium, America's doing all this celebrating just to be in third, under Japan and the countries of Europe. Is this like. I think I actually get what this is saying. America thinks, a lot of Americans think that we are the greatest. We are the only country that matters. We are the best. We do everything the best. And are just celebrating, going, USA, we are the best. And yet, we'll do all that and be so cocky, even though there are countries out there doing lots of things better than the United States. There's some things that America does well, but there's a lot of things we could do better. We are certainly not the best at everything in the world. So, yeah, it's unfortunate that Americans have this stereotype of being really cocky and loud and overly patriotic and think we're the best when we're not. I agree. That would be very, very, very annoying. I agree with that. There's a lot of things Americans need to realize that America doesn't do great. That's for sure. Europeans discussing politics, okay? Sort of fighting with Europeans discussing football. You're having a fist fight. Europeans discussing which cheese is the best? That causes nuclear war? Is there some kind of European cheese debate I don't know about? You guys are. You're going to go to nuclear war over cheese? This is some kind of European debate I didn't even know existed about cheese. I didn't know you guys got that passionate about cheese. The British as seen by Americans. Very proper, very well dressed. This is true. This is what Americans think of British people. We think you're very fancy, you have a fancy accent, we think you're cool, dress nice, That's how Americans see British people. Actually, that's true. The British, how they're seen by Europe. It's getting drunk, getting arrested. I think British people have a totally different image for Americans versus Europeans. That's funny. There's a little bit of like a stereotype of British people going to pubs and drinking, but that's funny how British people have a different stereotype based on if you're American or European. That's actually really funny. So anyway, these were really good. There's just so much to learn about the differences between Europe and the United States, and clearly, based on today's memes, there's a lot of stuff that Europe is doing better than the US, so we could definitely learn from that. But overall, I thought this was pretty funny. And strangely educational, actually. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on any of these USA versus Europe memes. And if you're interested in more videos like this, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.